evening and thanks for trusting MTN. I'm Keely Van Middendorp. We begin tonight with news around the nation. Demonstrations against police brutality continue nationwide after officers shot and killed a man outside a Wendy's in Georgia. Tom Hansen reports from New York.
Atlanta is the latest American city to erupt with protests over the death of an African-American man at the hands of police. 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks was shot dead Friday night as two police officers tried to arrest him.
I'm equally mad. I am sad to watch Mr. Brooks on Friday night talk about wanting to go home for his daughter's birthday.
Police were investigating a call about a driver who was asleep in his car at a Wendy's drive-thru.
Does he appear to have any weapons from where you can see him? No, I think he's intoxicated.
Body cam video shows the officers speaking with Brooks.
I just had a few drinks, that's it.
How many?
1.5.
When Brooks failed a field sobriety test, the officers attempted to take him into custody, and a struggle began. Brooks grabbed one of the tasers and ran, firing it behind him as he did. Officer Garrett Rolfe responded with 3 gunshots. 2 struck Brooks in the back, killing the father of 4.
I want them to go to jail. It was murder. That was not justified.
Officer Rolfe was fired on Sunday. The Fulton County District Attorney says a decision on criminal charges will be announced by midweek. Atlanta's police chief resigned the day after the shooting. The Wendy's where the incident occurred was later set on fire and destroyed. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
And tomorrow, President Trump plans to sign an executive order addressing misconduct by law enforcement officers. The president said he wants not only law and order, but justice as well. In more national news, the Supreme Court made a landmark ruling today protecting LGBTQ people from job discrimination on a 6-3 vote. The court ruled the Civil Rights Act covers gay and transgender workers. The Supreme Court action is expected to have a major impact for an estimated 8.1 million workers here in the U.S. That's because most states do not protect LGBTQ people from workplace discrimination. The ruling is considered a defeat for the Trump administration. The White House had argued that the Civil Rights Act did not extend to claims of gender identity and sexual orientation. At oral arguments, several justices expressed concerns about the use of bathrooms by transgender individuals. In his supporting opinion, Justice Neil Gorsuch wrote that the issue should be addressed in future cases. And back here in the Treasure State, there were some tense moments earlier today at Burt Mooney Airport in Butte. A private plane had to make an emergency landing after incurring a problem with its landing gear. The incident began just after 9 o'clock in the morning when the pilot of the twin-engine Cessna reported he'd had to make the unplanned landing.
The landing gear wouldn't lock down, and so the pilot, we wanted to burn as much fuel as we could to lessen the risk of fire or explosion upon landing if there were sparks and there was an actual crash.
Now, the pilot had to stay in the sky for more than 3 hours to burn off as much fuel as possible before making that safe landing. He was able to land his damaged aircraft on the south end of the runway. And Cascade County authorities released the names of the man and woman who died in a one-vehicle rollover crash early Saturday. They have been identified as 50-year-old Brooke Arovic and 27-year-old Andy Nicole the boy. Sheriff Jesse Slaughter says that at about 3:25 a.m., deputies were dispatched to the intersection of Bootlegger Trail and Bootlegger Lateral for a report of a rollover crash with a possible deceased person. When officers arrived, they found that both occupants of the vehicle had died. Alcohol and lack of seatbelt are believed to be factors in the crash. Toxicology tests have been submitted to the Montana State Crime Lab for testing. We will update you if more information becomes available. Moving now to a river search that took place over the weekend. Emergency personnel responded to credible reports that a man jumped into the Missouri River Saturday evening. Great Falls police officials told MTN News nothing was determined from the search. The incident has now been passed on to the Cascade County Sheriff's Office. There is still no word as to whether the subject of the search fell or jumped into the river. And a heads up as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning, one of the busiest intersections in Great Falls will be out of order or partially closed for most of the day. North and southbound traffic at the intersection of 10th Avenue South and 9th Street will be rerouted. Workers will be repairing a damaged signal cabinet. East and westbound traffic can still drive through that intersection. Work begins around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning and should wrap up by around 4 p.m. Well, many Montanans are seeing rain right now. Our Storm Tracker weather team is standing by to tell us more. Our Grant Garland joins us now, and Grant will continue to see those cooler temperatures over the next few days.
We're going to be looking at well below the average for this time of year, which for us it's around 70 to 73 degrees. But like you said, a lot of us are seeing that rain, and some of us are even seeing heavy downpours. So let's go ahead and take a zoom in on this look. We're looking at Big Sandy, and that place is where we're really seeing some heavy rain. Highwood, Geraldine, Geyser, Stanford, Denton, all looking at rain. Also down towards the Capitol, Deer Lodge, as well as Boulder. And there we are. There's Big Sandy. Big Sandy, we are looking at heavy downpours there, and I'm going to try and zoom in here. Guildford also looking in on some of the action. Box Elder, Parker School is looking at just the outskirts of some rain, but Loma as well as Fort Benton all getting in on some rain. And look at this sky. Isn't it gorgeous? My gosh, if I only had my paint and brushes right now, I would just start painting, Keely. Temperature is 53 degrees and winds out of the southwest around 10 miles an hour. Now in a few minutes, we're going to track out how much rain we could see through Wednesday night, but for now, I'll toss it back to you, Keely.
Thanks, Grant. We'll check back in with you soon. Well, Great Falls nonprofits are celebrating residents' generosity after an online campaign. 41 organizations received donations through Give Great Falls, which is a partnership between businesses and community partners. Give Great Falls 2020 raised $43,760 through the virtual drive, which took place April 27th through May 1st. Just over $1,000 in additional COVID-19 relief funds will also be donated to the United Way of Cascade County. Coming up next on the 10 o'clock news, blood banks around the state are asking for the public's help once again, how they're testing for the COVID-19 virus. Next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's News Leader.
And welcome back. We're beginning with the latest coronavirus numbers tonight after 2 more cases were reported in Cascade County over the weekend, bringing our total to 19 active cases. There are 7 other new cases statewide, 3 in Custer County, 1 each in Bighorn, Flathead, Ravalli, and Stillwater counties. Ravalli also added another one late this afternoon. The 2 inmates at the Montana Women's Prison out of Billings, test results came back negative for the virus that was previously reported by MTN News last week. Well, the American Red Cross has an urgent need for blood donations right now. Today, they announced they would begin testing their blood donations for COVID-19 antibodies. According to the Red Cross, the coronavirus is not a blood-borne pathogen, meaning it will not transfer from one person to another through blood transfusions. All blood donated to the American Red Cross goes through several screenings. A spokesperson for the organization in Helena told MTN News it's important to note as they begin adding the new antibody test screening that the test is not a diagnostic. It will not tell you if you have the virus.
What an antibody test does is it tests the blood to see if your body has built up the antibodies to the disease. That doesn't necessarily mean you've been exposed to it or that you've had it, but just that your body has the antibodies in it. If you are found to have the antibodies in your system, then you can make the decision whether or not you want to look at donating convalescent plasma.
Nona says your plasma can be used to help those with coronavirus in their road to recovery. She says they're accepting drop-ins for blood donations, but they do prefer if you make an appointment ahead of time. All employees and donors are required to wear masks and social distancing will be in place. It takes about 1 hour to donate and can be even quicker if you download the American Red Cross app.
All right, those are good recommendations there. We are looking at a cold front making its way through the Treasure State, allowing for showers to continue from now through Wednesday. We're going to talk about all this and more coming up after this break.
And welcome back. Well, there are some additional openings and services available at Glacier National Park to tell you about tonight. The west entrance gate will no longer close at 4:30 p.m. and going to the Sun Road is open to avalanche, and the campground is available for day use parking. The Village Inn Hotel and Lake McDonald Lodge are now open to overnight guests. Visitors can expect to find uncleared hiking trails with debris and down timber due to public safety concerns, congestion, and gridlock. The Going to the Sun Road may be closed temporarily on and off throughout the day. That makes a little bit more sense. I mean, I kind of like a little nature with my trails. You know,
well, speak for yourself. I'm going to hurt myself.
I don't. You got to clear all those pine cones out of the path, and
I'm just clumsy, so I'd fall and I don't break my leg.
Well, you know, the rest of Glacier's beautiful, and it's hard to lose your step. I mean, it's just easy because of the breathtaking, views and everything else.
Right.
But you should be just fine.
As long as I got a jug of sweet tea, I'm there. I can power
they
through
bought some
it.
huckleberry tea. I don't know about sweet. We'll have to check on that.
I gotta try that.
Yeah.
But I plan on going in July, and I mean the good news is too is that we're seeing the rain there. So if there are any wildfires, hopefully we won't see them impact anywhere close to Glacier. And talking about that rain, I mean, talk about a transition, right?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
All right, we're looking at some rain making its way now up towards Havre, and we're seeing at some places actually getting a little bit heavy, moderate rain showers. So folks in like Big Sandy, as well as up towards Box Elder Parker School, you guys are getting on the edge of the rain showers, making the way down towards Loma, looking at some action there too. So a lot of rain is going to be falling over the next several days, which is great news for all of us. In terms of what we're seeing down towards the capital, only light scattered showers, and we're not seeing any problems down there. We have been looking at, thankfully, a few sprinkles throughout the day though. In terms of our temperatures, 53 degrees in Great Falls with a beautiful backdrop, 53 in Helena as well, 55 in Fort Benton, and the coolest temperature on the board, Cut Bank at 52 degrees. Elsewhere, we are seeing 62 in Havre and 68 in Glasgow. So today's high was 70. The average in Helena is around 75. The record was set back in 1933 when it was 98 degrees, the year that Monopoly was invented. My favorite Monopoly board, by the way, even though it doesn't matter, is the Disney version. I absolutely love it. Low pressure with a cold front, that is what's been making its way through the Treasure State and allowing for showers to kick up. And we're going to continue to see this all throughout the day tomorrow. So as we go into around 8 a.m., we're actually going to have another low pressure form. And as it does so, we're going to see a couple things happen. It will transition moving up towards Canada. Now, take a look at the moisture that's going to be wrapping around the low pressure. We're going to be looking at chances for showers and thunderstorms on and off tomorrow. Now, where the thunderstorms at, I believe Helena will have a better chance to see that, but I mean, we still could hear a few rumbles of thunder. Plus, this is going to be around Wednesday at 6:30 in the morning. Take a look at the snow. We are looking at the possibility for maybe a foot of snow for those few people that live at or above 7,500 feet. Just make sure if you're in Lewis and Clark County that you're staying weather aware. If you live in and around 5,500 feet, you could be looking at a couple of inches to around 6 inches, maybe even 8. So just stay weather aware as we head into Wednesday morning. High pressure then will start to build in by around Wednesday night, hopefully starting to see maybe a little bit of a drying trend. We're going to see maybe these showers and thunderstorms stop becoming so widespread and maybe becoming more scattered, but we're still going to have to just get to that and see what happens. The best chance to see the higher precipitation will be down towards Helena and Butte, and we've been looking at models all throughout the day kind of going back down in terms of precipitation. I mean, Helena earlier today was looking at over 1.6 inches, and now we're only estimating around around 9/10 of an inch. Up towards Great Falls, close to around a half an inch of rain. So it will be interesting to see where the rain actually does fall. As we go throughout the next several hours, we're going to be looking at winds dying down to around 5 to 10 miles an hour by 9 a.m., 10 to 20 in Lewistown, and 20 to 30 in Cutbank. We've got a lot going on this week. I mean, we have cooler temperatures on Wednesday. Saturday, we have summer. That starts. And then on Sunday, Father's Day, 82 degrees, and then a hot day on Monday with temperatures in the mid-80s. We do have chances for showers and thunderstorms through Friday. Then on Saturday, partly sunny skies. On Sunday, we're going to be looking again at summer-like temperatures, 82. And then Monday, we're going to be looking at 86 degrees. And for our friends in Helena, we're going to kind of look at the same situation. We're going to be looking at temperatures getting down to around 63 on Thursday, and Friday, 67.
Hey, it's Monday, which means it's time for Game Changers. Cece and I are going to count down our top favorite moments of the week coming up.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's news leader.
Welcome back to the 10 o'clock news. Well, the 75th annual Shodo American Legion Rodeo is the latest event to be canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic after the Teton County Board of Health voted against holding the July 4th gathering. Rodeo committee members presented their detailed proposal to host the rodeo with strict social distancing and sanitation guidelines in place. The sticking point was the crowd size. The Legion said that they planned for 3,000 spectators total. The board denied the proposal, citing the elderly and vulnerable population of Shodo, enforcement of the guidelines, the recent increase in statewide cases, and the difficulty of contact tracing.
If you have one case out of all these people, you have no way of knowing who they were in contact with during the rodeo. You would need an army of contact tracers to deal with that.
The rodeo is the main fundraiser for the Shodo American Legion's charitable efforts in the community. Well, Little League Baseball is back in Great Falls with some special requirements in place to keep all the players and their families healthy. MTN's Matt Holzaffel steps up to the plate to give us a look at baseball during a pandemic.
It's baseball season in Montana, but not just any baseball season, Little League baseball season. The Riverside Little League was able to start their season back up today thanks to help from local health officials and some special social distancing guidelines.
Social distancing is, of course, the biggest one for us here. And then there'll be hand sanitizer around the complex. And then, lots of safety protocols.
It was a day long awaited.
Oh, super excited, man.
But it wasn't an easy road back to Little League Baseball in Montana.
Lots of prep. So we had to work with Cascade County Health Department. We partnered with Alluvian Health, and they helped us get this going so that we're COVID friendly.
For a while, it seemed like there might not be any sports in Montana this summer.
We've been pushing pretty hard, and we submitted the plan to Cascade County Health, and they approved it. And so we made it mission go, and I worked with the other two leagues in town and got some players to come over and play. So everybody's underneath the Riverside Veil this year just to play baseball.
But are the kids excited?
Are you guys excited for the season? Yeah!
Although the Little League World Series might not be happening in Williamsport, Pennsylvania this year, that's not going to take the fun out of the game for these kids. In Great Falls, Matt Holzaffel, MTN News.
Zach said each team will play 14 games this season, but one major difference is there won't be a postseason tournament this year. With time to kill as we wait for sports to fully return, MTN's Tom Wiley and trusty co-anchor Cece are trying some new things in this week's edition of Social Distancing Game Changers.
With people spending a lot more time at home, it gives them time to pick up some new skills, and that's what Cece and I did this week. I tried my hand at skateboarding. Yo. Well, Cece became an expert at balance biking. And ball throwing. But those moments pale in comparison to the top 5 we saw this week. We'll count them down for you in our Social Distancing Game Changers. At number 5, Cruising the Drag might have been canceled, but Cruising the Flag went off without a hitch. Vintage Vehicles flew Old Glory up and down 10th Avenue South. Also, check out this cool dog. The number 4 Electric City Water Park opened for business on Friday. With social distancing and sanitation guidelines in place, patrons can ride the Power Tower Plunge and the always popular Flow Rider. At number 3, you can get a free meal every Thursday at the Riverside Rail Yard Skate Park. The Alliance for Youth has been hosting a weekly barbecue to connect with residents and cook hot food using produce from the Salvation Army's Farmers to Families program. At number 2, no one had a better week than 101-year-old World War II veteran Sidney Walton. He traveled Montana on his No Regrets tour, met with Governor Steve Bullock, and even stopped by the world-famous Sip and Dip Lounge. At number 1, how about the guts of the Tri-County Cardinals baseball team, opening their season over the weekend just days after losing one of their own, Brighton Bunnell, to a car accident. The Cardinals played with heavy hearts, but found solace on the diamond, sweeping a doubleheader to honor their teammate.
And folks, you can always send us your video at home highlights at krtv.com. Cece and I will try to feature them on Game Changers every Monday. Reporting from home, Tom and Cece Wiley, MTN News.
Thanks, Tom. And you can find more Game Changers with Tom and Cece at montanasports.com. Stick around. A final check of your forecast is next.
Take a look at this photo, Cameronson, and it's a double rainbow like Katy Perry.
Oh.
Love it. It is a really beautiful night. Temperatures tomorrow, 65 degrees. Showers and thunderstorms are going to be moving in through really on Friday. We could be looking at half an inch of rain here in the Electric City, down towards the capital, closer to an inch possibly. We're going to see temperatures tomorrow, 61 degrees, with showers and thunderstorms on Friday, and then Keeley, Saturday. It's summer with Sunday, Father's Day.
Yeah, I was going to say, followed by Father's Day. Yeah. Not a bad weekend. Well, a Butte man was one of a few in the country who was able to buy a limited edition, very pricey sports car. Tony King picked up his 2020 Ford GT in Butte this morning. Only about 1,000 of these sports cars have ever been produced, and it comes with a heavy price tag of $630,000.
It's ecstatic and it's epic and it's unreal that somebody from Butte, Montana got selected. And
King said he plans to take the 660 horsepower car out for a spin every once in a while. That's good. You got to make sure that the neighbors see it out once in a while.
Well, I mean, can he come pick us up? I
know
we
just had Cruising the Flag, and wouldn't that have been a neat sight? But
let's do it.
It's good to see the old vintage cars too. So maybe next year we'll see him in our lineup.
Maybe we should go in and buy one.
Yeah,
next
that's
year.
a nice chunk of change. Maybe you and I would pool our earnings.
We'll do it. What color do you want?
We'll see. Oh man, hot pink.
Dang it, I was going to say red or
no,
green.
gotta go with hot pink.
All right, hot pink.
That's all the time we have tonight at 10. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your evening and stay dry.